Alright boys, welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna try to make this video as informative as possible, yet it's gonna feel pretty boring. So if you're really into just getting information and not having visuals, then this is the video for you. If not, feel free to exit out, because I'm just going to basically go over some of the aspects that allow me to get through each and every round of Supermax, and I get the rewards every single time, and basically how to be a better MyTeam player and just a 2k18 player in general. So let's get to it. So first and foremost, I just want to say I wanted to make this video because of all the comments I've been getting lately. A lot of questions on how to improve on defense, how to defend the 5-man out, how to run it properly. I think it's more important than how to defend it, because honestly, man, it's a very hard offense to stop unless you run a zone. So let's just get onto that, man. Defensively against the 5-out system, and I'm gonna address just the biggest issue with it, right? So obviously you're gonna have the guys in the corners, an ISO at the top, your center also taken out of the play, sometimes just in pick and roll, pick and fade action. So you might want to go under the screen with a center. That's something I do every so often. I control the center and I kind of just play my way with it. You want to control the center and get under the screen and then back to the center, not get blown by if the guy doesn't decide to shoot the three-pointer. So that's a tip I could give you. Try to control the center when he's ISOing everyone to the corners, and then it's just the center and him trying to get to the basket with the blow-by animation. Switch to the center. Typically that works for me sometimes, and sometimes I stick man-to-man and I go for the steal. You're gonna have to hack. They might call the foul, you might get the bump steal, you might get an animation, but what you cannot allow to happen is let the guy get to the rim. I'd rather foul. As long as it's not a shooting foul, it's a better play, and that way you kind of throw the player off his game a little bit. However, the best tip I could give you, dude, if the guy is running a 5-out the whole game, my personal tip, and not everyone is going to tell you this, do it back to him. Do the 5-out yourself. And the key about doing the 5-man out ISO play is being patient. Some people will defend it better than others because it's a 20-minute game. If you run down your shot clocks on every possession, you're gonna wear down your opponent, because that's what people do online. Think about it. People just run down the shot clock on you, and they're zigzagging and looking for the open shot. You have 24 seconds to get a good shot off, and I don't know how many people I beat that all they do is basically put up a shot within like 5 or 10 seconds. That's not good offense. Not on my team. It's not gonna get it done for you. Like, typically it's gonna be contested shots. The CPU has algorithms that if you're putting up shots, half the time if it's that early into the shot clock, it's not a good shot. So that's a really big tip. Run down your shot clocks. It's gonna get really annoying for your opponent when they're realizing, holy crap, there's not gonna be that many possessions in this game. I need to do something. So in that instance, they might start sending the double teams. They might start sending the zone at you, and you gotta be ready for that. You gotta be ready to swing it around. When people run the zone at me, straight up, it's just pass, 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 pass all around the perimeter, and then back or swing it across to the completely wide open man for the wide open three. You gotta be ready for the switches. People are gonna run double teams, they're gonna run zones. You gotta be ready, just active, on top of your game. Okay, offensively, this is something that I like to do, that I've added onto my game as the year has gone on. Basically, when I have like a 10-point lead, I build myself up a nice lead, right? My opponent is not keeping up with me. Then I go into this mode where I'm like, okay, so I have a 10-point lead. Now I'm trying to maintain the lead. If I can build on it, great. If I can't, all I'm trying to do is hold on to that 10-point lead. If my opponent for some reason hits a 3, I can't get a shot at the other end, and he hits another shot and cuts it to 5, right away either I sub someone out, I make a change, or I call a timeout. It's just like to gather yourself, really, and for the game to realize, okay, he's understanding that the other opponent is going on a run. So I believe that if you call a timeout, you kind of stop that momentum a little bit, and you see this in real life as well. So it's just something that I do. If I have a lead, I don't want to blow it all on one entire just, you know, single run where this opponent is getting back into the game and I could do something to stop it. And that one thing that you can do is call a timeout, make a substitution, make a change. Okay, so let's talk about defensive settings. I keep it very simple, dude. I go into off-ball and on-ball defense, and I switch it from moderate to tight. Some people like to touch the system proficiencies. I don't get into all that. I don't get into sending double teams. I don't get into, you know, very specific things. I just don't do that. I let the game take care of that. I'm really trying to win the game offensively. And here's the key thing, guys. You guys need to understand that your settings alone are not gonna win you the game, okay? The video game itself will put things into the game to make the other player competitive. So your settings, eventually, they'll crumble. I don't know how many times I've seen people go into their settings right before a match. They hit me with the zone right away before the play even starts. And I'm like, hey, I'm ready for this. I see this against every other opponent. I know what you're going to hit me with. I'm going to do my best to counter it every single time. And that's the mentality you got to have. I think more than anything else is just the mentality of I'm going to win, I'm going to win, I'm going to win. And at the end, you might lose. You gotta understand that. You might lose the game. But as long as you have that mentality, you're gonna give yourself a better chance. I go into games, man, sometimes where I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get crushed. Like, I'm just not in the mood. And guess what happens? I get crushed. I have no chance. If you go in with that mentality, it's just human law. You're gonna lose. You can't go in like that. You gotta be competitive. So okay, I want to address the 3-pointers, right? There's opponents that they'll put up 30 3-pointers. They'll put up like 10 3-pointers a quarter, like, which makes makes no sense. It's idiotic, it's stupid, but it's what the game has come down to. So here's the best way to counter that. I selected my options, no threes. Defensively, a simple setting, you hit the right on your scroll bar, you hit right and you select X or A if you're on the Xbox, and you hit no threes. I just keep that setting on front of gate every single time. I switch between that and shrink floor. Just those two options, depending if the guy's attacking the paint a lot or shooting a lot of threes. More than likely it's gonna be a lot of threes. And then the best way to counteract that, dude, offense beats offense, dude. Best way to beat somebody that's shooting and just doing nothing but knocking down threes is to do it right back. That's the honest truth. There's no defense that's gonna beat that. You know, you're gonna get zigzagged on. He's gonna just swing, 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 and it's a video game, dude. It's gonna crumble. You don't have the tools to defend that. The game is allowing the other player to score. He's gonna get a wide open look, and we've seen it. People hit the dumbest shots, contested shots. It's just patterns that the game, you have no control over that. So the best thing that you can do to keep yourself in the game and give yourself a fighting chance is to do it right back. Shoot threes, man. So if you're getting blown out, dude, or he's building up a lead and you feel like he's knocking down so many threes, pause the game, go to the team comparison, and take a look. Okay, so I've taken 2 3-pointers. This guy's already attempted 14. He's made 5 of them. I've only made 1. Do the math. 5 3-pointers is 15 points he's made already, more than you, because you only have 1 3-pointer or 2 3-pointers. So at that point, simple. The light bulb should light up in your brain right now. Start doing the same thing. Start tossing up threes. Give yourself a chance. It's basic math, dude. 2s are not better than 3s, okay? So as long as you're taking open shots and you have the right players, like look at my lineup, which you don't need these diamonds. There's great rubies. There's good sapphires that can shoot threes. You don't need these cards. You could do. I've lost to people that have inferior teams simply because they attempt more threes and they happen to be good looks. Okay, so to give yourself a chance, you do the same thing. You take 3-pointers. I think that's very basic. I think I talked about this way enough. Let's get on to another topic. Okay, so this one is a pretty big one. It's kind of trending. Some of you guys may not be familiar with it. It's basically like an algorithm, but people are saying it's an equalizer. So it's basically, you know, giving the other opponent a fighting chance, like as if the CPU is dictating that you're gonna miss some, your other opponent is gonna get better looks and things of that nature. Your CPU might act a little more stupid and do dumb things if you're a better player. That might be in the game. We don't know that. 2K will never confirm that. I don't think so. And if they do confirm, they'll confirm that it's not in the game. They don't want competitive players to, I mean, obviously we don't want that in the game. If somebody has no skill, they need to be crushed. Like, you need to get better by actually improving, not by there being some flaw in the game that allows you to get back into the games when it's really not fair. That to me should be illegal, but hey, it's a video game. They do whatever the hell they want. We can't even look into that. So until a developer comes out and says that there's an equalizer in the game, there's no equalizer in the game. And it goes back to what I just talked about. It's all a mentality, dude. Yes, there's teams that I've come across that have worse players than me. I have a 99 overall system proficiency with an all diamond squad, and I'm going up against a few amethysts and some rubies, and the guy is kicking my ass. I understand that, dude. At that moment in time, you cannot start thinking, and this is what I hear on the microphone every single time and on my headset, what the other player is saying on the other side. Every time I'm whooping their ass, they're like, oh, this Equalizer, 2K is letting you win. Look at this bullshit. I can't get an open shot. Dude, it happens to me too. So it's about weathering all that. You have to weather all that to give yourself a chance. You can't think the game is trying to rob me, because the same way you feel that it's trying to rob you, it's going to give you a chance later on. If that's what really it comes down to. Personally, I don't think there's an equalizer in the game. I just think it's all skill and just what kind of scheme you go into the game with. Yeah, man, I think it's more game plan than anything. Me, there's games where I say, hey, this game, I'm taking nothing but threes. I'm just taking 3-pointers, and I'm going to attack. If he just overcommits, then I'll start banging up the paint. I go in with a game plan. That's the game plan. I build the game plan before I go into the game. I see his lineup, and I'm like, okay, I got to do this, this, and this. And then I execute, execute, execute. And it goes back to the mentality. Game plan. Some of you guys think that you're just going to sit there and try to play some realistic simulation game that you might get the win. That's not the case, especially in Supermax. People come out here with a game plan, and they're going to try to execute. More than likely, every single time is the 3.5 out. That's what we're seeing. That's why people are complaining so much, because it's the same thing repeatedly. Here's what you got to do. I've said it already a couple of times. Do the same thing. You want to be the master at that. You want to, if that's what's going on, okay, that's what's going on. I'm going to be the best at that, which is what I'm trying to do now. Okay, so we're going to do 5 out. You guys are going to cheese. You guys are going to just zigzag. Guess what? I'm going to be the best one at it. And that's the mentality you gotta have, dude, because you're not a developer. I'm not a developer. We're not developers. We can't change the game. So if you want to play this specific game mode, this video game, what do we have to do? We have to adapt. It's so simple, dude. We have to adapt. And you're not gonna be the one guy that pulls off the miracle defense that stops the 5 out. You're not gonna be that guy. I promise you. However, I'm telling you, you're gonna have a fighting chance if you do the same thing right back. You're gonna keep yourself in the game, and then once your opponent crumbles because he realizes, man, I'm dealing with this is business right here, then you can switch up your game. You can drive in, you can post up, you can do post fadeaways, real basketball. But for now, as long as he's doing some cheesy stuff, you gotta hit him with the cheese right back and give yourself a chance. Man, hopefully this was helpful. I really wanted to show some examples, but I felt like I really wanted to talk about it in a way that I could explain it and you guys could gather all the information and process it. Ultimately, what I want you guys to understand is that more than anything, dude, more than skill at this point, I swear to God, more than skill, it's your mentality going into the game. You can be pretty scrubby at the game if you tell yourself, hey, this game, I'm gonna give myself a chance. I don't care that this guy has 1 billion diamonds and I only have an amethyst squad. I'm gonna shoot a lot of threes because I know that threes are better. Threes is better than twos. It's simple. So I'm gonna shoot a lot of threes and I'm gonna kill this guy. This guy is not gonna beat me. That's how I go into games. Like, especially when I'm in Supermax mode and I've already advanced a little bit. I'm going up against tougher opponents. I'm like, I don't care. This guy's a bum in my mind. This guy's a bum. I'm attacking him. I'm gonna kill him. When he scores, I'm like, that ain't nothing to me. I'm gonna score right back. And even if I don't, I say the same thing the next play. And come on, man, this is not no philosophy thing. It's simple. It's a video game. Just have fun with it. But at the same time, understand that it's very basic. If somebody's shooting threes and you want to give yourself a chance, you do it right back. Very simple. Have fun with it. Build a team. Collect cards. And just smash the shit out of these opponents that come at you with the BS. That's what I do. And then obviously I upload my videos, I brag about it, I complain. Some of you guys get offended by that. It's all good. At the end of the day, I give myself a chance by doing the things that I just listed below. Guys, thanks for watching, man. This video way too long. I've talked way too much. It's incredible, but I know 100% that if you follow some of the things I just told you in this video, you're gonna be more successful. Even if you're better than me, even if you watching right now are better than me at this game, if you follow some of the things I just said, you're gonna be an even better player. I promise. Drop a like, subscribe. It's your boy Dcentric. I'm out.